Starting these lives before anyone joins is always fucking weird. So, what's up, guys? What's up, guys? Oh, Gris him. That dude's fucking going crazy. What's up, Jacob? What's up, Ben? What's up, Benjamin? And J Mata. What up? What's my favorite shoe? Probably the Louis Vuitton Air Force Ones that are over in the far right side. Yeah, that game was crazy. What'd they take that dude's bat for? Is it... I think my initial reaction seeing that was... Is it, because his pine tar was too high up on the barrel? But I don't know. I didn't do much research on that. I was going to say, Owen, that did feel like a playoff series. Just from watching it. Because I actually did watch majority of these, of the innings. Like the first time all year that I actually tuned into like 95% of the game. So, yeah. Did the, I need to check the scorecards. Did the Blue Jays win? Or are they still going? Let's see, anybody? Did, oh, they didn't play today, did they? Yeah. Okay. So what does that do for the standings? MLB, let's see. Again, I need them to win. Getting a lot of people on Twitter saying that I want them to lose, and I've said every single time that I want them to win. Regardless of the comments that I make, because they're not always going to be positive. But I want to see them win, yeah. They're 3 games back. Who are they going to pitch in these games? That's going to be a big tell, because I feel like all their big dogs went. As far as their big, it's going to be what, Luis Hill and Cam, but they had Fried, Rodon, and Will Warren go. I don't know. I don't feel like, I might be a hater, but I don't feel like the Blue Jays starting pitchers are something that's too much to worry about for the Yankees, to be honest. Might just be me, though. Yeah, Cruz was out of the dugout. I don't really feel like I ever see many relief pitchers getting on the field like that. So good for him. He was loving it. He was loving it, which is what you want to see. Because he's super emotional, so good for him. I never got to choose number 30 for my debut jersey. They just gave it to me, so that's why I swapped. But ultimately I swapped because when David Robertson got traded back, he wanted number 30 back, so I had to give it up regardless, even if I loved the jersey number. But 77 just felt right. 77 felt right. But maybe, dude, I got this so Wink Demand. I don't know if you were in here whenever I said this. To be honest, I wasn't like watching live at the time. I was doing something. When they took the bat, whenever I came back, I saw the crew chief and them, he had like an earpiece in, he's like talking to somebody. My initial thought, with no research being done, my initial thought is that he had pine tar too high up on the barrel. Because if it's above the logo, that becomes a problem. They will confiscate the bat, and you can, like, low-key, I mean, a lot of guys put shit above the logo of the bat, but nobody ever protested. So what was Michael K And what was our guy K saying? Yeah, I mean, right now they're a fully operational Death Star. They're going crazy right now. They're winning these games, and they're 8-2 in their last 10. That seems like that Death Star is moving, baby. The only thing that's not moving is some of their bullpen pitchers are. It's weird because I feel like they acquired some of the best, like past and present closers in the big leagues over the last few years, and then they get to them and they're fucking sketchy. Yeah, I mean, here's a tidbit for you, Jay Mata. Jay Mata, what's your first name? I don't know how to I don't know if you want me to call you that, Jay Mata, but if you're talking about like a foreign substance, some of these dudes will. I feel like in 2020 I started to, for the first time, be introduced to players. I don't know exactly what it was, but it was like it was something people were buying at like Home Depot, bro. It was like a super sticky material, but like hitters for the first time started to spray that shit on the barrel of the bat. So in theory, apparently there was some testing done on it to see if that was going to do anything, but I don't think that they found any proof that it did anything. But a lot of guys were spraying their barrel with that stuff to try to mitigate the amount of slippage that you might get on some foul balls from the bats. Because when you look at bats in the MLB, no, it wasn't spider tack. It was a literal like spray, and if you sprayed too much of it, it turned white. So you had to be really cautious with how much you would spray on it, because if you sprayed too much, you would go up to the at bat, and these dudes would have a black bat that was bleach white almost. So you had to be like super like careful with how much you spray it, or some cases you know that you're going to be hitting in a certain inning, and you spray it a few innings beforehand, then it's gone. So maybe if they find that on his bat, I don't know what they can do, because then he could just probably come back and say that he sprays it on the handle, and then the handle, from him just holding his bat, it touched the barrel, because that could be what happens in some cases with the sticky stuff on the barrels, is you just, from it being on your hand, it gets on the barrel. All right, J Mata, Jorge, all right, there we go. Did you not hear this? Not only is Brian Walsh, yeah, I saw that. That was crazy. If in 5 minutes every Yankees sleuth can figure out that Brian Walsh is a diehard Red Sox and Dodgers fan, then I think MLB should be vetting these dudes a little bit more instead of putting him in certain games. I mean, everyone's gonna have a favorite team. Like, these umpires certainly, like, deep down probably have like a favorite team, but if they're outwardly posting it on social media and saying that I'm a diehard fan of this team, then MLB should probably not let him umpire those games. I think everyone could agree that might be the route that they should go with certain guys that publicly announce who their favorite teams are or were. I don't know what the reasoning for pine tar above the logo is. I think it probably has to do in regards to, like, again, it would be like essentially putting spider tack on the baseball. So I think that they think that if you look at some of the way that the bats are designed, like, for instance, like Judge swings a bat and it's like his is super gritty. It's called a L5 A3 like G finish is what it's called, and it's almost like, think about like rhino linering your car, that like type of material, or almost kind of like a nail filer material. And those are the ones I think that everyone should be swinging, just because of the other ones. Well, they'll have some paint that's like super like sleek looking and it's like super shiny. So those are the ones where it might slip. You might have a few more foul balls just from the material of the bat and the paint and the coating that they put on it. So that might be why they don't allow pine tars, because they probably is some truth to the fact that if your bat is sticky, you might not slip on. You might not foul as many balls off. It might be homers or something. What's up, Jack? Adrian Johnson is also an Astros fan. Were you on the roster the day Johnson ejected Chase Haley in 2017? I think I was in Florida for that. I think that a bunch of us were deployed down in Tampa on the taxi squad. So, you think the bat was corked? I don't know how they could tell that the bat was corked if it wasn't. So, it might be. Yeah, I mean, I will say, Steven, if the ump is a Red Sox fan, I did see a post saying that he was a diehard Dodgers fan, but he was wearing a Red Sox shirt. In every single post that I've seen of the dude, he's in Red Sox gear or standing in front of the Green Monster, so he's definitely a Red Sox fan. And so, again, the game that he fucked up last night, regardless of, I saw some people say that, well, Baseball Savant and all these things said that the final strike three to Jazz was a strike and the ABS system would have called it a strike. So even if he got that right, he still fucked up a lot of other calls, so it doesn't matter. But with that being said, the Astros, the Dodgers, and the Red Sox are all three teams that he's shown favoritism towards, whether it's social media posts or many games where he's finished the game with a strike three for the Astros pitching on a ball. So he can't be umpiring those games. And then that play at third tonight, that dude is buns, bro. That dude's buns. He had all night to think about how much he fucked up that game last night, and then he came to the field today and said, I'm going to double it. He put it all on black. Or all on trash. That's what I'll say. He bet the house on a bad game. So what Kay was saying is that it looked like the paint on the barrel was scratched off. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people, whenever I was in like rookie ball, what's up, Dominic? I don't give a fuck if it's his third year. I know that you're not saying that to like convince me. I'm just saying it's his third year. It's Volpe's third year as well. Maybe he's fourth. And look how people are talking about that. So, and you're standing completely still behind the plate, and you're just like consistently missing calls, and then you even get a day off from the plate and you go to third and you make an even worse call over there. So I bet that guy's experiencing massive anxiety for the first time in his life. It's probably what we're probably witnessing that. So that sucks. I don't want to dump on the guy, but he can't be umpiring games if that's what he's bringing to the game. He's not going to be in the playoffs. They'll take all that into consideration, and the fact that he's an absolute abomination of an umpire. Ben, I somehow, some way, Garrett Wilson's my favorite wideout, and Justin Fields my favorite QB. So I'm going to be dialed in on the Jets this season, and I'm glad that they're going to be together. I think Justin's crazy. I think that he's obviously had some stuff in the past that maybe he didn't look like he could throw the ball as good, but he's one of the best running quarterbacks, and you can't find that everywhere. So I think that they'll be pretty good. Let's see. I saw Boone lost his shit. He always loses his shit. So, good for him. Playoff atmosphere, Dylan, for sure in the Bronx. It's going to be loudy. It's going to be rowdy. Those Blue Jays players are going to be, it's going to feel like they're in the middle of fucking Vietnam out there in a war zone. It's going to be hectic there. It's going to be hectic. That's going to be crazy. Matt, I do think that if umpire, all right, hear me out. Yes. Do I think umpires speaking to the media would have any effect on their decision making in games? Yes. And I think it would be because if every single day, think about the players, right? Like, think about the fact that, like, just think about it like this. Unless you have somebody who's just completely, like, gung-ho on, I'm right, you're wrong, fuck it, I'm just going to go my way, fuck your way. If you keep putting, like, a mic in front of somebody's face and you keep asking them the same questions and they, at first, they just kind of, like, defend their reasoning and don't just, like, wear it and just accept, like, yeah, like, I fucked up, then the mic continuously being put back in their face is eventually going to make them realize, like, yeah, like, I actually did fuck that up and I have to do something different about it, or every single night this mic is going to be in front of my face and the entire universe is going to be saying that I'm trash. So I think that he definitely, not he, all of them should have some sort of accountability in a sense of there should be interviews mandated to these players after the game. You got to do that. There's too much on the line. It's too much. And they suck. And they're kind of assholes. I think they could do some, it would help their PR. It would help people probably stop thinking that these dudes are just dickheads. Anyways, let's keep going. He does need to go down to Scranton, live by the funeral home. If he went down to Scranton, he's not coming back the same dude. Tell you what, it's going to take years off of his life if he goes down to Moosic. Who do you trust more now in big innings, Weaver or Cruz? I kind of like Cruz right now. Cruz looks like he wants that ball. That's what you want. You know what I mean? Cruz looks like he's got, you know that saying where people's like, he's got a loose screw? Cruz looks like he's got no screws. He's lost all of them. So, I don't know. I feel like whenever I was watching the at-bat against him pitching to Jose Altuve, right, he really wanted to set him up with that splitter. And he got 2-0, I think. Then it turned into a 2-1 count, and then it was a 3-1 count. And he went fastball, like 96, 95, upper half of the zone. I felt like that was the one pitch that Altuve should have swung at, but I think Altuve was thinking that another splitter was coming. And then he struck him out on a splitter on the next pitch. But the entire time that he was setting him up, right, like he was one thing that's crazy is when you're in the box is that he was shaking off the catcher. And so shaking off the catcher, it's like, okay, what pitch is coming next? Because you do have a sense in the box of like, okay, this dude like really loves this pitch, this splitter, and so he's going to keep going back to it. And even though he missed it multiple times pretty bad, he still was like saying no to the fastball and saying yes to I want this splitter. So that's why when he threw that fastball on a 3-1 count, you see Altuve take it because he's thinking that a splitter is coming. And then once you get to the 3-2 count and he's got Altuve's wheels spinning a little bit and he's out there just shaking his head no and then shaking it yes. And the box, you only have a half second to think about what's going on. And Altuve at that point was probably thinking a heater's coming, which is why he looked so bad swinging at that fucking splitter. And so I want a guy like that because Altuve is one of the best players. And so if Cruz can go out there and make a guy that's had such a track record of hitting like that in a situation like that look that bad, that's what I want right now. That's October baseball right there. So, yeah. Do you think Judge DHing affects his at-bats more in a negative way? I feel like him playing the outfield. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think Judge's like, I think it's tough, right? Because when he steps in that box, every single player is put on like high alert. It's like fight or flight mode. You know, they know that their life is in jeopardy if a ball comes back at them, and they know that they're at risk of giving up a 450-foot fucking home run at any point. And so guys tend to like lock in on him and pitch him a little bit differently. So, I mean, it could be the fact that Judge isn't playing the outfield that's bothering him, but I think it's probably just the fact that they're pitching him different. Danny Duncan, my bad, buddy. I didn't see that. Can you say what's up to my sister Jess and say hopefully she's having fun at Disney World? Jess, what's up? I'm going to be at Disney World too, actually. I'm going to Harry Potter World in the next couple of days, so I hope it's going good. Boone's definitely losing his shit on these guys. Take me back. 2016 Scranton Rail Riders, Clinton Judge in the outfield, Gary behind the dish, T. Wade, and skip Marcus Timms. Marcus Timms was not the skipper on that team. He was the assistant hitting coach in the big leagues at the time. But everyone else was correct. That was a crazy... I'm not going to lie, dude. Whenever I pulled up to Scranton the first fucking time and I went to that field, it was an off day and it was raining outside. It was like sprinkling mist. That was fucking... I was pissed that I was in Scranton. Because I had just gotten called up to... Columbus with the Indians. And Columbus is sick. And here's the flip side of it. In 2016, when I got called up, I can't remember exactly. It was like 10 days on the road in AA. And then I got called up to AAA. And then I went like a week on the road, maybe 2 weeks on the road in AAA with the Columbus Clippers. And then I got traded to the Scranton Rail Riders. And that felt like I was on the road. So I felt like I was on the road for like a month and a half straight. And Scranton just was the home that I didn't want to live in. That's why I lived above the funeral home at some point. Was the fuck was going on? That was the craziest shit ever. Jay Bell was not the manager. It was Al Madrano, I think. I think his first name was Al. Chris, at this point, when do you put Devin Williams in the game? 6th, 7th, can't trust him in high leverage situations. I think the 6th is like a safe spot to start with. But the 6th is kind of iffy because if your starters are doing what you want them to do, they'll be out there in the 6th. So maybe the 7th, but I don't know, man. You gotta keep giving him a chance, but you gotta like put him in these games. Because again, I've said this on like the last 3 nights of the streams, there's gonna come a time in this playoffs if the Yankees make a run at it, and the fact that these arms are high leverage arms, they're throwing 100+ miles an hour, or they're out there exhausting a lot of effort to throw hard, the back-to-back or the triple back-to-back or back-to-back-to-back days become hard to throw these guys every single time. So if you completely abandon Devin Williams getting closer opportunities or high leverage opportunities in this regular season, then there's going to come a time in the playoffs when Devin Williams is going to have to throw with that game on the line. So it's kind of a double-edged sword a little bit right now. What do you do right now? I don't know. I think they know what they've got in him, and so they know that more times than not, he'll be better than worse. So they're just kind of like hoping that he can, again, these are all my own opinions. I think they're just hoping, and Boone's just praying that like the Devin Williams that he puts in that high leverage situation is the Devin Williams that they traded for that's going to show up, because that's the guy that they traded for. Trent Grissom, that was a fucking rocket. One thing that I'm noticing about Grissom is that he's got mega aura. He's got big aura. He hit that homer, and he just turned and looked the other way. He almost, like, looked in the dugout, on the other dugout. He didn't, but he almost kind of, like, he just looked away, and then he knew it was gone. So that was crazy. That's good for him. He's got... If aura is right here at max level, Grissom is right there. So that's how you become a fan favorite real fucking quick. You just do shit like that and you just know that you did it. Yes, Keegan. I played in Lynchburg. The place was crazy. With hard-throwing relievers out there, and Devin comes in the ninth, throwing 92, 94. Yeah, I feel like Devin's velocity's dropped a little bit right now. Because I remember facing him, and he was throwing a little bit harder, which makes it makes that fucking splitter harder to hit the harder that he's throwing, because that splitter has such a unique movement to it that you just feel like you're taking a swing like dumb as fuck whenever that pitch comes the way that he wants to throw it. Gris Him's mustache makes him look like a player from the 1970s. That's facts. But he's playing like a player that would be the best player to ever live in the 1970s too. Which player has the most aura? It's Gris. It might be Jazz. It might be Jazz. But they're different aura. Jazz is like... Jazz has effortless aura. But he also has in-your-face aura. So his can be a little much for some people. But Gris's aura is so subtle that it's just like extremely confident. And it's kind of a little arrogant in a good way, because it's so effortless that he knows he's got aura. So it's different levels of aura. Like Jazz has more swag, that's for sure. But Gris has like a different swag to him. But the Gen Z crowd would probably like Jazz more, but the not so much Gen Z crowd would look at Gris Him and be like, that guy's got something going on. Volpe just looks like he has it on his mind that he's going to make an error. He's in his fucking dome right now. But the one thing that they're doing right now is they are backing him up. But someone did send me an article today in regards to Volpe, and James Rowan, the hitting coach for the Yankees, said something like, we don't know why he's struggling the way that he is, and it has nothing to do with the work and effort that he's putting in. That's not good. That's not good. It's not good that the coach is coming out and saying that we don't know why he's struggling. Because then at that point, they don't have an answer. And I think that the answer is right in front of them, is that Volpe's really having a hard time. And I'm not saying this to be overly critical of anybody, because I've been on that other side, and it's just like, damn, give me some time. But Volpe could be a little bit of a problem in the playoffs. And I don't mean that in any bad way. I'm just saying from a sense of, he's not your best option right now. That's for sure. So, but Caballero is going to get thrown out every fucking at bat. So he might inevitably put Volpe back in the game if he starts there. So when it's in your own head, there's not much you can do. He needs a slump buster like Keith Hernandez. Does he strike you as a guy that would go out and get a slump buster? You think he's got that in him? Just go out and a grimy lay? He might. I saw him commenting on that WWE girl's Twitter or Instagram post not too long ago. That was ballsy. I don't even know if that was real. Can anyone confirm? Have they, did anyone actually go to that post and see if she actually had that comment? Because that was crazy. Caballero does have juice. He does have juice. My cat is Usain Bolton right now, going crazy. Okay, so I don't know if I was gonna say, I don't think that was real either. I saw that tweet on Twitter. I never went and investigated, but if he did comment that was bold. Especially like the check your DMs tweet. That was good. That was really good. So then if that's the case, he might have slump buster a slump buster mindset because he was aiming for the sky right there. What are you gonna have kids? What? What do you mean, Brett? Is it when are you gonna have kids? I don't know. Not. Yeah, I thought for sure his Grand Slam in the World Series was gonna be the one to give him the breakout we've been waiting for. Yes, I think everybody thought that, but that was last year, so that's kind of hard to carry over completely into this season. But it is a good way to like finish the year on a high note and maybe be like, damn, I'm him. I'm him. I'll finish the season pretty good. Army Joe. Caballero is his own worst enemy. He puts Yanks in a bad position because they lose a defensive replacement late in the game. That's facts. That is facts. So Caballero has been ejected twice. Is it twice or is it 3 times? I don't know. It's been quick hooks. I know it's like 2 in the last couple of days, and that's kind of a problem. I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of a problem to be getting tossed from these games like that. Just because, like you said, if he is the defensive replacement, it's not good that the defensive replacement's going, because then who are they going to use in the later half of the game? Brett Mack, my guy, 199. Brett, thank you. Appreciate you. With that, I'm going to buy a nice over grip from Palbia. So, shouts to Brett Mack for the 199. We're not talking pickleball yet. I do have some news in regard to that pickleball stuff. We can get to that. That'll be there. You think Wells is starting to get it going? I feel like he had to have been dealing with some fatigue during. It's hard to say with him just because he is catching and that workload is different to more people or to most catchers. But I mean, he hit that homer last night. I know I saw him on the base tonight. I can't remember how he got on. But I think it would be good. It'd be really good if he could get it going, because then it could mean that Ben Rice could continuously play first base, and then you have the option of Ben doing the catching every now and then you just go from there. Dominic, 199. Thank you. You didn't want to beat Brett Mack at 2? Didn't want to be the top dono? I'm just kidding. Thank you, Dom. That was appreciative of. I'm appreciative of you sending that. That's nice. Again, you guys don't have to donate me anything. I'm here for y'all. So thank you for doing that. I appreciate it from both of you guys, Brett and Dom, the Dono boys. Yeah, they were real quick hooks, Mike. Yeah, he must have said some personal shit. Unfortunately, we didn't get the camera angle that would tell us that exactly what was said. Dead Dinks sent you a DM about the pickleball shirts from the company I'm launching. No rush. Appreciate you, Dead Dinks. I will check that out. I haven't been to be completely honest, I haven't been on Instagram much today. I just posted that Instagram story and then hopped off. Dom followed it back up with another dono. So Don took the top spot. I appreciate you for doubling down. That's nice of you, Dominic. Thank you. Any predictions for the Blue Jays series? Yeah, let's do it. Let me see their probables. Let me see their starters. That's going to be, so they got Gossman versus Cam. Gossman can get hot, and he has that splitter that can be a pretty serious problem. What's the rest of it? Let's see. Could you guys just, I'm going to be lazy because I'm not trying to. What are the other pitchers? Who's throwing the rest of this? Brett Mack is in here with the 299. These guys are going back and forth right now. Holy shit. Brett took over. Brett's flexing that wallet, people. His wallet must be deep. Wow. Brett, with that being said, now I will buy 2. Whoa. Jack. Jack came in with 2. Now this is becoming like, I feel like I'm sitting in a room full of just bitters. Jack, $2. Thank you, brother. Got you, bro. Brett Mack with the $2.99. Let's celebrate their 3rd super on a live stream. Let's go. Appreciate you, Brett. That was nice. I don't know what I did. There I go. I'm back. I will spend that $2 well, Jack. I do appreciate that. I will put it towards something. Honestly, you could tell me what to buy. It's your money. Blue Jays only need 1 win. Yes, you're right. In theory, they need all the wins because this is going to be a big series for them. So Judge does own Gossman. I don't know the stats, but I feel like I have seen some far home runs, deep shots. So that could be good. Any chance that the Yanks get you behind the mic for a game? Let's think about this. No way. Not a shot in hell. For many reasons. I don't think that they trust me back there, and I don't know if they typically love me right now. That could be a serious issue. How are the Yankees doing this season? Brett, they've been going up and down, up and down. Right now, they are like fucking up. 8-2 in the last 10. On track for the 2nd most home runs ever in club history with over like 230 something right now. Their run differential is insane. So when they win their games, they're winning fucking big. And when they lose their games, they're losing pretty closely is what it looks like. So that's interesting. I think most of it is the fact that their bullpen kind of like lets them down. Whoa, Army Joe, $4.99. Buy some insurance on those shoes. I think I'd be capable of maybe insuring one pair with that $4.99. Appreciate you. Thank you for that, Army Joe. I'll look into the insurance policy after this. You'd have trouble even getting to the booth the way half the fan base sees you. That is correct. A lot of the fan base is I think they're a little conflicted right now with Red Thunder. And it has to do with that tweet that I said about Boone. I was kind of joking about that. I'm gonna be honest. That's why I said the hoodie tied around the waist. I was trying to add a little like facetious comment to it, but I've caught some flack for that. So once that dies down, they'll be back. They always come back. So we'll be fine with that. Now that I'm out of baseball, do I bet on the games? No. I have not bet on the games. I bet on football, though. And I have, unfortunately, bet on NBA basketball games that I knew absolutely nothing about. But I have not dabbled in the baseball bets yet. That is something that, honestly, I do feel like when the time comes and I do, because I don't bet much, just in general. But when the time does come, I'm thinking, might know some things. Mike Smith, huge 3-run home run late in the game. Cured the cold. Good for you and good for me. It's like playing God a little bit right there, right? Being able to cure someone's cold. They're still mad about the razor joke. Yes, They probably are. But now everyone left their razor at home, so like joke couldn't be that bad, right? Does 99 ever get angry and hold the team accountable? Ben, yes, he will hold the team accountable. To what extent? I don't fully know what he's doing right now. I do know that if Judge has a personal problem with you or thinks that something needs to be cleaned up, he will address it. And when he does address it, you do listen because he is the type of person that doesn't outwardly get vocal a lot. So when he does, you're kind of like, fuck, I fucked up. Gotta listen. No IQ, no wrestling IQ. Did I fuck with the little chains the Yankees had on the road jerseys last year, getting rid of the white on the New York? I think that in the last few years they've made a lot of subtle changes, right? They took that like piping off of the sleeve, and then they took the white off of the New York. Yeah, I mean I think it's cool. I think it's cool. I think that the Yankees like navy or like the dark blue is a sick look. So they should wear that spring training jersey sometimes. The blue one. They should pull that out. That shit is hard. How many edibles did I eat tonight? Do I look high? You think I look high, max coverage? The answer is 0. 0 edibles tonight. If I ate edibles tonight, then I would be completely trashed. And I don't think that I would be able to even remember half the things that I'm thinking about right now. So the answer is no. I'm gonna keep it real with you. I don't really like edibles. I really don't. You know a guy who plays for the Dodgers and he has some good parlays. Yeah, I think we all know that guy. I think the only inaccurate thing that you said in that sentence is that he has horrible parlays. Good parlays if you're his bookie. Horrible if you're someone tailing him. It's time for the Yankees to get an alternate jersey. How about a home name? Yeah, I mean, they should have they should be wearing the spring training blue jersey with the white pants. This shit's hard. That's hard. Yeah, right? I did. I trolled the stadium in that. That was nice. Appreciate you, Max coverage. You're a ginger too. Shout out. One of my favorite pair of shoes. I think earlier I said the Louis Vuitton Air Force One off-whites. Those things are nasty. That embossed Louis leather. That leather is fucking hard. It's so stiff too. So that's how you know it's good. In regards to the City Connect, as of a few years ago, the Yankees declined getting the City Connect. And I know that because the person who declined the City Connect told me that they declined the City Connect and actually was talking to me about how he thinks that he made the wrong decision because he thought that there was an opportunity. He thought that at first it was like, fuck, we're the Yankees. Like, we don't need this. This isn't like good for our brand. And then I think he got FOMO after he saw some of the other City Connects. And so that one thing I do know, heard it here first, clip this if I'm right in the future, delete it if I'm wrong. But I know that they talked about with the Yankees City Connect jersey that they had interest in letting graffiti artists make the jersey because they talked about how in the Bronx graffiti is extremely prevalent. And so they were talking about potentially reaching out to one of the graffiti artists to have him design the Bronx Bombers City Connect jerseys. So again, if I'm right, you heard that here first. So yeah, clip that shit. But if I'm wrong, delete it. And then send proof that you deleted it. But yeah, City Connect graffiti jerseys was what I heard a few years ago. I don't know if that still holds weight in 2025, but I do know that the person that's in charge of setting that up That's what he told me that he was looking into. And low key, like let's just call a spade a spade. Like majority of these other City Connect jerseys are trash. So they're fumbling the bag whenever they get an opportunity. Some of these look terrible. Some of them look horrible. I think they should let some of the players design it because I don't know who the fuck is making these things. So when you get that op, you better get it. You better take it. Subbed up to you, bro. Call a game with me one night. Let's turn YouTube up. Do you do live games? Is that what you do? Maybe we could set that up. I'll give you credit, Joe. Joe, if the Yankees have the City Connect jersey, Joe Mutta was on it. There you go. Clip that. Any tip for young players, Dom? I don't know, man. Just have fun. That's so corny. Let's try again. Yeah, I guess my one advice to anyone that's a younger player that's playing baseball is that whatever got you there, remember that. And what I mean by that is that every player has the ability to be really good at something. Everyone has like a unique ability, right? Like for me, it was the bat speed, and for Luis Arias, it's the bat to ball skills, and for DJ LeMahieu, it was like he just could hit any pitch that was thrown. So when shit hits the fan for the first time in your career, lean on those things that you know that you're really good at, because that's what makes you the player that you are. Your strengths. Don't forget your strengths, because sometimes people are going to try to take them from you. Chuck. No. I've not considered going to Japan or South Korea. I do not have any interest in going international. That would be tough. I wouldn't want to do that. I really wouldn't want to do that. I know that like some guys do it and they can make like really good money over there, but I wouldn't want to do that, man. That wouldn't be fun for me. Ben, what was DJ LeMahieu's personality like? DJ was literally like low robot. That was like a super accurate way to describe DJ, is that he was extremely routine oriented, and I feel like when I showed up to the ballpark, I could tell you based off the time of the day where DJ was going to be in the building. And that says a lot about the consistent behaviors that he had, being so routine oriented. So his personality was very like, I'm going to do the same thing every single fucking day, every single day for the rest of my life, because it worked for me and there's no reason to change it. And for that, that's discipline. DJ's personality could be described in one word as like discipline. Mike, I could be teammates with Trevor Bauer, but I don't want to be teammates. And I'm saying that because I don't want to go overseas. Savannah Bananas, Clint, you could got that in the bag. I have nothing in the bag that says go do the Savannah Bananas gig. I would never want to do that. I don't want to ever do that. Again, I'll say that again. I don't ever want to do that. That would be insanely out of character for me to go do that. Although I did get followed on Twitter or Instagram. I think it was Instagram the other day by like somebody Savannah Bananas related, and it was like the recruiter for them. So I don't know if that means he's got eyes on Thunder, or if he just appreciated the content that I was putting out. but I'll keep you posted if I get anything in the DMs from that guy. That's eye-opening. I did get offered a coaching job, not like guaranteed the job, but someone did. I did have a coach, a manager, reach out and ask me if I would be interested in being a AA hitting coach for their team, and I politely declined. One thing I'll say about that, though, I'll be honest, one thing I will say about that is Major League Baseball coaching does not interest me really at all, unless it was like a major league gig, and I don't think that's just going to come around for me. But college coaching would interest me. I just don't have a degree, so I wouldn't be able to have like I don't think like an official title of a coach in college. But if a college program were to give me an opportunity, like imagine like my personality matches well with some of these younger kids, and I think that I could be a better college coach than I could be a better professional coach. I mean, I think I could be like decent at both of them, but I think as far as the ability to like resonate with the people that are in front of me, the college kids would be a little bit easier to probably get through with, just because of stature and just where they're kind of at in their careers. I think they would maybe listen a little bit more. So that would be an interesting one. I met Spike Lee. If that's famous enough, Chuck. Met Spike Lee, Ryan Reynolds, and Blake Lively. Had some interactions with them at a game. I'll give a good story about that. We were at I still to this day like don't know if this is like, I still don't really know what fully happened, but we had a PR director. One of them, there was like 4 of them in New York, but one of them came up to me. And this was right around the time in 2021 whenever they were rolling out a lot like 25%, 50% capacity back at stadiums. So they still had some like stipulations on who was coming in the games as far as like capacity goes. But someone did approach me whenever we were in Cleveland with the PR director and told me, hey, Ryan Reynolds is coming to the game in New York and he wants to meet you. And when I finished the sentence, or whenever I finished the story, it can be determined if what I'm telling you was a joke or what I'm telling you was real. I still don't even know, because he came to the game, right? And he's sitting first row with Blake Lively, and this is against Tariq Skubal pitching, and I was hitting like 8th or 9th in the lineup, and I hit a home run off of Skubal, and as I'm coming around the bases, Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively are going fucking crazy in their first row of the dugout. They're going fucking crazy. And they're banging on the fucking plexiglass. They're fucking showing me some love. And I remember walking out in the field with Judge, and I looked at Judge, and I was like, swear to God, I looked at Judge, and I was like, that might be the first time that somebody likes me more than they like you. Like, how's that feel? Just joking around, because they were going crazy, and everyone saw that they were going crazy for me. So then the game finishes, and I go in the locker room, and I get on Instagram, and my Instagram is going fucking berserk. But I hit a home run, and so sometimes after games, that whenever you have a good game, that your Instagram or your Twitter is going to be like really full of some love. And so I thought that has to be what it was, because at the time that I hit the home run, I was struggling. So I thought, like, finally got some love. That wasn't the case. I got love because Blake Lively, still up on her page, posted about me. And she was at home in her living room, and she was wearing a hat. And the caption says, like, shout out to my personal stylist at Clint Frazier for, like, hooking me up with this hat. And I was like, I didn't give her a hat, And as you keep scrolling through the slideshow, you get to the end of it, and you see that there's a note written underneath the bill of the hat. And it says, you look like you need a hat or something, and then it's C, and then it's F. My signature was super easy to to fake. So somebody, I know who it is, I'll get to it, but somebody wrote her a note and then gave her the hat and said that it was from me. And then not too long goes by after that, and then Ryan Reynolds posts something, and it was like, shout out to Clint. I can't remember what he posted, but he posted something along the lines of like, my guy Clint giving me this hat tonight was awesome, like great home run. And then you slide through the slideshow, and then on the bill it says to the Green Lantern from Clint Frazier. And to anyone that knows, like the Green Lantern was Ryan Reynolds' least favorite movie that he ever did. He's outwardly spoken that he hated that movie and everything about it. So the fact that they put to the Green Lantern instead of Deadpool was like a jab at him. And so time goes on, and I'm like, who the fuck wrote these guys these letters? And it ended up being Gardy. So Gardy ended up coming up to me and being like, yeah, bro, like I fucked with you, or I fucked with them, and I told them that you wrote, or I like went up into the locker room and told the clubbies like, hey, like Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively are sitting front row, like give them 2 hats and tell them it came from Clint and yada yada yada. So like all that shit went down, and Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively had posted about me, and both of them had messaged me on Instagram and told me like, thank you for this. And I was like, yeah, no fucking problem, guys, like shout out, y'all are my guys. So I just like made them think that I sent them the hats, but Gardy was fucking with me, and that shit was really good. So that was funny as fuck. So still to this day, I think that Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds think that that those hats actually came from me. And to like round about the whole story, with everything that I just said, when the PR director came up to me in Cleveland and told me that Ryan Reynolds wanted to meet me, I don't know if that was true. I don't know if Ryan Reynolds actually wanted to like speak with me, or if that was Gardy just pre-setting like a seed extremely in advance that, hey, like these dudes want to meet you, and I plan on doing this like predetermined prank on you a few days in advance. And so like I still don't know. I think I can assume that it wasn't real, but by the way that Ryan Reynolds was interacting with me before the hat was in his possession, it seems like maybe he did want to meet me, because that was different. I got people on Twitter asking me thoughts on pulled fly balls. What? Those... What you mean? Homers. That's what that is. Homers. I'll just respond to that. But yeah, so Ryan Reynolds and them, I never admitted to either of them that, hey, those hats never came from me. So yeah, Giannis was there. It was like the worst BP that you'd ever see, the worst swing you'd ever see in the cage. And so I think in that moment, it kind of like goes to show you that you can be the greatest athlete, one of the greatest athletes on the planet, but a bat in your hand, you can look like one of the worst. I mean, he was hitting the tee. He was actually like hitting the tee, like knocking it over. And that's tough. I don't even done that before. We've all probably done that before, but I would more so just fucking did that as like I'm just fucking around type swing. Lafayette with another dono, bro. Thank you for coming back. Appreciate that. Brian Walsh should be investigated. Go Yankees. I would venture out to say that they are going to have a chat with Brian Walsh here pretty soon. But again, here's the thing, right? Like I saw a lot of people saying like, why can't they why can't they challenge that ball that Brian Walsh said wasn't caught at third base by McMahon, and I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. I don't know how that's not a reviewable play. Maybe it has something to do with like you can't review like a catch into a transfer into a drop type thing. But the one like thing about the whole like replay things that's like a little sketchy to me, if you ask me, is the people that are in New York, because they're always like, they're going to New York, they're going to call, like, they're calling in New York. The people in New York are just umpires that aren't slated for games that week. And so to get an umpire, to make the umpire say you were wrong is hard. I think that there should be like an unbiased third party that is in New York that has no affiliation with baseball, that has no idea the names of the umpires on the field, no personal relationships with one another, and just calls the game the way that it should be called. Because when that ABS system comes into play, that ABS is AI basically that has no feelings and no personality and no nothing, and it's just going to say yes or no, this is correct. That's what should be going on in New York, is someone should just not be affiliated with these umpires and just call it how it is. I think that's a little sketchy. What's my favorite college team? Funny you ask. The Florida Gators. And one reason why. And before I say it, no one jump too quickly to say like, oh, DJ Lagway, oh, I'm in a dynasty college football 26 with all of my friends, and I chose the Florida Gators, and they have the craziest schedule I've ever seen coming up, and I went through that gauntlet of a season, and they play all the top teams, and if DJ Lagway can come out on the other side, 1 to 2 losses on that schedule, they're going to be in the college football playoffs. And because I'm college football 26 dynasty with the Florida Gators, and I'm kind of like a free agent with other college football teams as far as like who I root for, I'm dialed in on the Gators this season. That's who I'm rooting for. So I'm a Gators fan this year, and probably for the next like many years, just because until I transfer out of Florida in this dynasty, I'm going to rock with the Gators, baby. I actually have a game that I need to play right now, and it's about to be 1 a.m. And I think at 1 a.m. I might be shutting it down just because I was up here. We were running this shit till 2 a.m. last night. So with that being said, I'm going to need to play my game here pretty soon. But maybe if you guys have interest and want to hang out, I could stream it, and you guys could head over to my Twitch if you want to like still interact in some sense, but it might be choppy. I'm not really great with the, like, I have a full setup and everything, but I'm not the best with getting it rolling the right way. ECU beat the Gators. Yes. Good for them. Good for them. Dog, you're one of my favorite players on the Yankees. I did estimate your stance all throughout high school. All right. How did that work out? Like, not even joking. Did the stance, like, did you feel good? I did bet on that Virginia Tech game, so I'm sorry that Lenore Sellers decided to just be Lenore Sellers and do that. Kevin, I can stream gaming. If I stream gaming, it's going to be college football 26. Sometimes Overcooked. I'll play with my wife. We go at it. Overcooked is extremely funny to play. That shit is nuts. And I play on Xbox. I have both setups, but I play on Xbox just strictly because all my friends are on Xbox, and it's just easier to do the party chats with them there. War Eagles. All right, Lafayette. It's not the Gators, and they don't have a Jordan logo on their chest, but the War Eagles aren't bad. I visited there. Wasn't a bad spot. Kind of not crazy. Did pretty well. They kept playing me in JV, unfortunately, but I did hit some nice hits. Walk, dog, I thought. Yeah, there you go. I mean, glad that the stance worked out. I think it's kind of cool that you thought that enough of me to, or you liked the stance. I don't even know what the reason was, but I'm glad that you tried it. That's pretty cool. Max Coverage TV. Let's let me ask you this. I mean, I'm on your channel right now. 13.8 subs. Okay. So you are you're a Yankees channel. That's what I was looking at. You do the Yankees stuff. Yeah, I mean, yeah, bro, we can talk about it. You could again, the best way to oh wait, Max, forgot to shout you out. My bad. That's on me. I read your thing but didn't realize it was fucking yellow, dude. Gold. Yeah, bro. Appreciate you, that 10 spot. That's cool. 700 to 1,300 people in the game. That's interesting. I could maybe entertain that. Again, thank you for that dono. That's legit. Let me just do this right here. And this is fine. This is not me being, I'm not being mean at all. I don't want this to come across the wrong way. But does anyone in my chat right now, do you guys watch his streams? Have you tuned into his streams? Would it be something that the people in this chat would want me to do? Because I'm down to go on there. I want to like cross-pollinate the viewerships. You know what I mean? I've asked a lot of people Max Coverage, just to continue to elaborate on that. I've asked many people in these chats because they've mentioned other like Yankees affiliated accounts that they want me to collab with, like New York Yankees Underground. They've talked about John Boy. So if people in here do want to see me go on the Max Coverage and talk, I mean, I could do that. That could be arranged. That could be arranged. Again, I'm all for, I'm not against it. I'll say this though, just to put that out there. I don't know about the full game though. You know what I mean? That's a long time. I don't even watch most of the full games. I don't even watch the full games usually. But I think that for me, we could, if we were to do it, we could line it up. You could tell me if you want to start the stream with me on it, or if you want to finish the stream with me on it. Either way, we could talk about that. You gotta come to New York and host like a Q&A, sell tickets, shit. So no wrestling. Okay, hold on, I'll get to that. Wrestling. McFly. Is it Joe's? Is it, how do you say his name? I've tweeted him back a few times, but I've never really known how to say his first name. Yeah, look guys, Joe's, okay. If you want to see me on these podcasts or any of these shows, then tweet him, you know, and like do it in a flurry. Like maybe right now, like hop on there and everyone send him a tweet and be like, you and Clint should do something. Maybe I could bring him on mine or something, or I don't know, me going hit whatever he would want. But in moments like this, I mean, there's not too many fucking games left in the season. So if there's things that you guys want to see or people that you want to see me with, send me names. I'm down to reach out to them. I know that like one dude that I think is, again, I don't know him. I don't know any of these people personally, again, you know. But that Keith McPherson guy seems pretty cool. He seems like a reasonable dude. I would call into his late night show. I know he gets after it. Kind of sets the tone with how he does some stuff. So that would be, I wouldn't be opposed to that one. Check out this Cowboys game. Is it over? Damn. Did they lose? It's definitely over. What was the score? Damn, 24-20. Here we go. Let me get back to the chat. Yeah, I mean, max coverage. Here's a dumb question. Can you DM on it on YouTube? Can you send like personal messages on YouTube? And if so, I guess send me one on here. Or maybe my Instagram, and then say that you're Max Coverage TV if you're doing it from a non-Max Coverage TV Instagram, and I could maybe do that. But I'm going to be honest, I'm about to go out of town tomorrow for a few days, so it probably wouldn't be for the next couple of days if we did something. A co-host would be pretty good. You're pretty chill by yourself. You'll be entertained. Yeah, Devin. Are you talking about with these live streams that I'm doing? Because my co-host is a grandpa, dude. He's passed the fuck out right now. So, my typical co-host guy that I work with, Harrison, would be ideal. I do have another friend, Mitchell, that I could use in some of these late night live streams. I bet he would hop on. But all my friends have regular jobs where they're asleep right now. So when I do these like super late night ones, it's kind of tough. Let me go all the way back to one person. I will be in New York City. No Wrestling IQ. One way or the other, I'll be there October like 4th, 5th, or 6th. For sure I'll be there the 6th, but I don't know if I'll be there the 4th or the 5th before then. But if the Yankees are in a position where they're at home, I'm 100% going to be there. And I will do something live, and I will reach out to some of these places, maybe like Billy's or somewhere else, maybe down outside of like Yankee Stadium on the street, do a live Q&A, have some merch, give it away, like kind of just do what I'm doing right now, but ultimately just like film a segment in front of people. So we'll do that. Pinstripe Territory would definitely be a nice one to go on. Chuck, I don't get any free tickets from the Yankees. If anything, I think they'd usher me out the game. You get on live tomorrow after the game. Is the game a night game tomorrow? Yeah, 7:05. Yeah, I'll probably get on. I'm flying to Florida tomorrow, so I'll probably do that. Whew. I'll probably do that later. All right, Max Coverage. We can talk about it. I mean, we are talking about it. I'm not saying no. Not saying no. So, I mean, it would be. Again, I'm not opposed to coming on. So, maybe I'll be able to work that out. If they don't allow you to stream in the stadium, go to Billy's. They're not going to allow me to stream in the stadium unless I went live on like YouTube or my Instagram or something. But I'm trying to stick everything to like YouTube just because I'm trying to grow the YouTube stuff. My Instagram is it's all right. My Twitter is crazy. I do insane. I do insane numbers on there. When you go and look at the like the impressions on my Twitter, it's fucking absurd. So if I could get my YouTube to be anything like what my Twitter is like, holy shit, that'd be crazy. But yeah, no wrestling IQ. I'll be there, and I'm hoping to be able to do something. I mean, even if the Yankees are like okay, so I'll be real. Like October 6th, I got invited to try out for this pickleball team, right? And that's crazy to me. That's funny, and I'm gonna try it, and it would be for a Brooklyn, New York-based pickleball team. And I think that they're trying to use the I think they're trying to use me in a good sense of like you can leverage some marketing around like former Yankee player in New York playing pickleball would be the first Major League Baseball player to go pro in pickleball type thing because that's kind of the storyline with what they've led with some stuff. Not the team, but just pro pickleball whenever I talk to them in general. So I'll be there for that. So obviously there's going to be potential they've talked about making like a pro pickleball jersey with the Brooklyn pickleball team and doing some like jerseys, like Frazier jerseys. I don't know if it would have my number on it because I don't think pickleball really does numbers, but I think that they would make some exceptions. So they talked about either giving me some of those to give away or maybe selling some of those on their website. Kind of find it hard to believe that they would sell something for a player not affiliated with the team. So I kind of feel like I might make the team because I'm kind of nasty at pickleball. I'm not going to lie. I'm kind of nasty. I'm doing a pro pickleball tournament this weekend. That's what I'm going to do in Florida. So I'm playing with this. Me and Harrison are doing 4.5 and 5.0. So like in pickleball, 4.5 and 5.0 would be like AA, AAA level, you know? You're kind of maybe, you know, you're there, but you're not in the show. And then I'm doing a pro level tournament with my girl Lisa Borowski. She's this mixed doubles partner that I play with. She's fucking nasty, guys. And those are streamable. Like that can be streamable. I could probably send the link or post the link to be able to watch that. But maybe the PPA will post it and I don't know. We'll see. Yeah. You know where at Brooklyn? I live in Williamsburg here in Brooklyn. There's a lot, and I mean a shit ton of pickleball activity over here. I'll be trying out at this place in Queens. That's all I know. So yeah, the trial would be in Queens, but if I made the team, like I've thought in my head that it would be like great promo and great stuff to just like go live at their facility and kind of like, again, cross-pollinate baseball and pickleball and, you know, because the paddle that I use is a Franklin pickleball paddle and Franklin's obviously got baseball background with the batting gloves and whatnot. So I think that there's a lane in the pickleball world to kind of utilize baseball to get some sponsors in pickleball. So my female partner, Lisa Lafayette, is a former college tennis player. So she's really good. She's fucking nasty. So that's probably my best shot is with her if I'm going to win some of these games. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be trying out for the Brooklyn pickleball team. Dead Dinks. Yeah, pickleball's fucking nasty. And Jack, you're nasty at pickleball? Maybe what we do is if anyone in here like lives in New York, whenever I'm in New York, maybe Life After the Show podcast pulls up at a fucking park and we live stream me playing some of the people that tune into these shows. Because I'm going to be honest with you guys. You better be locked in. Because I'm nasty. So, maybe we can do that. CM, did you get anything from giving your 30 jersey to David Robertson? No. D-Rob didn't even speak to me when that jersey got taken off my back for a while. I don't know if him and I had our first conversation with one another until like 2 fucking plus weeks of him being a teammate wearing the jersey that I was that I was wearing that got taken off my back. Max, 99 cents dono. Appreciate you, man. Again, you guys do not have to do the donations, but I appreciate it. They're extremely gracious, or I'm extremely grateful for them. Thank you. You ever play singles in pickleball? My brother and I always do, but whenever we pull up to the park, some old heads give us nasty looks for playing singles. Yeah, I play singles, but like at a whatever level you call it. I mean, I've beat some, I've played in some 5-0 tournaments. I've lost to like some 5+0 guys in singles. Majority of those dudes have a way more extensive background in racket sports than I do. And you can just tell that they're tennis players. And I'm not, I'm a fucking baseball player. So like my best bet, if I'm going to beat good competition in pickleball, is in doubles. You know, because doubles is a completely different game. Singles is way different, but doubles, it's just kind of like, okay, I could maybe overwhelm one person with my drive, or one person could be weak at something, so you can just pick on them. And then obviously in singles, you kind of like, if you just suck, then it's just you. You're the only one to blame is you, because we all love to blame our opponent, but like, dude, come on, like, you were targeting my opponent. We know that. Lafayette with a $2 dono, and he's upset about pickleball. I know you said you were a coach last night, so I apologize, but I'm just not a tennis guy. I'm really not a tennis guy. Pickleball is really my avenue, so you might get tired of hearing about it if you're on my stream, because it might be my profession if I make that team. Wouldn't that be crazy? Let's see. Let's get back to it. Whenever you're in New York, I'm also friends with the owners of Pickle Heaven. Deadass, the nicest facility in the country that also about to open. Yeah, I mean, we could figure it out. Like I said, maybe somewhere in this stream, because Harrison will more than likely be with me, and he loves pickleball, and Harrison has a massive fucking YouTube following, over like 2 million subscribers. So I'm sure that he's got some people that he could potentially pull up to a place that might be welcoming to a decent amount of randoms playing some open play there. So there is potential to do that. I'll keep you posted. I'll have plenty of live streams going before then to confirm anything that will happen. Yes, Max, we talked about the bat. Some people thought it was cork. Some people said that the logo looked like it was scratched off. My initial thoughts, without any investigation on the matter at all, was maybe it had something to do with the pine tar being above the logo, but I don't know. I think we'll just have to wait for that one, because that one was a little weird. I'm not really into cars. I have 2 Teslas and a Jeep Wrangler that I have from high school. So I think, like, as lame as it sounds, like, I love the Tesla Model Y just because I'm lazy, and I put that thing in fucking autopilot and go everywhere in autopilot. It's awesome. Great car. Great feature. Matt, my brother and I thought we were nice at pickleball, then we played doubles match with older people the first time. It smoked us, realized doubles is no joke. You're right. Doubles is no joke. There is an extreme amount of game planning that can go into those games that if you don't game plan, you go out there, you can get your shit rocked. And some people, I'll be fucking real with you guys for another half second with the pickleball stuff. Looks are deceiving. Looks are extremely deceiving. And what I mean by that is you can have somebody that looks like they've never touched grass before. Ever touched grass. And like low key look like the most sunlight they've ever seen is in a video game that they play that's outside. Like never go outside, never touch grass, and then they step on that pickleball court, it's different. It's different. It's a different animal. They move different. They act different. Their swag is different. They're different. In some places I go, I'll pull up, right? And should I call in to Keith? Here's the thing. If I call into Keith, I have to end the live stream because I'm on my phone. That's the only thing. So unless I can call into Keith on my laptop, can you make calls from a laptop? I might be able to call him from my Google. I might be able to do it. Hey, Matt, do me a favor. Give me Keith's number. And maybe tell Keith I'm calling. I don't know. What would I even call and say? Does he just, don't people just call in and just argue? I feel like I tuned in like for a few minutes. People would go in there with some wild takes, and Keith would just be shutting it down real quickly, and then the calls would end after a few minutes of both of them just, I guess, agreeing to disagree. Did you have any exposure to what the Astros were doing in their cheating scandal? I mean, I don't know if my exposure was different than what they were doing, but I know that they would, or what they put out there. But I know that they, I know that there was like some, and I know this from, I just won't tell you how I know it from the person, but I know somebody that was in on the meetings with all the cheating stuff, and it was between both teams whenever they were doing it, the Astros and the Red Sox. But there were, with the Astros, there was something that you could show up to the field, and in a certain room, I don't know what room they were putting in, but they were putting in a room that like only certain people had like access to, and by that it would be like players, coaching staff, because some of these rooms, whenever you do the media and the media comes in the locker room, you can't just have it out in the open, right? So they would be put in like an area where you couldn't go, but there was a rumor out there that, not a rumor, this is facts, but there was something along the lines of the starting lineup would be posted in the room on the wall, and everyone in the lineup or not in the lineup that day had the ability to go in and they could write on the lineup who they wanted the trash can bangs if the pitcher like came in, a certain pitcher, right? So like let's say Aroldis is pitching and everyone in the lineup is like, I want to know what is coming when Aroldis is pitching. It would put Aroldis Chapman, or you could just circle all, or just something along the lines of that, where you could just write it down. So somebody out there has like physical evidence of these sheets that would be posted in a random room for players to have the ability to say like yes or no, I want to be in on it today, or no, I don't want to be in on it. That's probably the most info I could give you with that. That info did not come from Garrett Cole, because like I said, this person that I got it from was in on the Red Sox stuff too, and Garrett Cole was not in on the Red Sox stuff, but he definitely fucking knew what was going on with the Astros. He definitely knew. Last tournament you did, you played with a guy and his wingspan took up the whole court. You're right, Max. That dude was like 6'6", 17-year-old kid. He was nasty. Did the Yankees know ahead of time that something was up the Astros? Because I remember during the season in 19, it was going to the New York Post. Yes, it wasn't just the Yankees that knew. There were multiple teams that knew. Multiple teams had heard significant amount of sounds during games and had reported that only at home that they would hear something going on, right? And like, you know, when you're in that situation and you're pitching and you're hearing like bang, 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 and then you hear bang, bang, and it's just like consistently, and the timing and the cadence of the bangs or how many bangs it was would be, you know, because like some people were there like just like they're just looking for stuff like that, or they're looking for a pitcher to give them a sign, so they're extremely like observant of like certain things that are going on. So the trash can bangs became overwhelmingly louder as time went on. Um, yeah, I mean, these dudes knew exactly what was coming every time. But again, as I have said this before, and a lot of other teams were cheating, and a lot of players were in on this stuff, which is why you saw the route that MLB took, which was no players got suspended. So the reason, in my humble opinion, which again, my opinion doesn't matter whatsoever, but the reason that the players did not get suspended is because they knew that they would have to suspend an extreme amount of players in these scandals. And so that's terrible for baseball. So I don't know that Altuve was wearing a buzzer, but I'll give you guys a quick story on this. In 2017, I had an off day, and so I was not with the team. There was like 10 to 12 of us that were not with the 2017 playoff roster. We were in Tampa, Florida, and I was with my dad, and we had an off day, and it was in the ninth inning? Yeah, the ninth inning. And I was sitting around and I watched, I swear to God, I said this out loud to my dad. Aroldis throws that pitch, that slider, and Altuve kind of like overly aggressive, like took it, but made it look like he got significantly fooled on it. And I said to my dad, I was like, he just set him up. Like he's gonna throw the same exact pitch and he's gonna hit a home run. And sure enough, the next pitch rolls in and Altuve walks it off. So when you think about that moment, it's either Altuve just was fucking dialed or Altuve knew exactly what fucking pitch was coming, and that's how he was able to sell that take like that, because that take tells the pitcher, oh my God, I just buckled his fucking knees. I can throw that same exact pitch again. And he did. And Altuve rocked that bitch. So it's just one of those things where he comes around third base and he's being real weird with that shirt, and then he sprints into the fucking locker room. And then I have people that I've played games with in the past that I said on this stream again last night that there are other teams in baseball that have worn doorbell ringers for people who are deaf, because people who are deaf cannot hear their doorbell ring. And how do they hear their doorbell ring? They feel it through vibration. And these people have said that that was the devices that other teams that they were a part of were doing. So it's not too far-fetched to think that if other teams were doing that the Astros had their own system, given the fact that they had trash can banging and algorithm stuff going on at the same time. How do you think the Yankees will play coming up to the Blue Jays, Red Sox, with what you know, and how about baseball? I think right now, if that, you guys, like, you know, I've seen the record. I don't know the exact record, but it was like 11-25 for teams that were above 500, but that was probably like a week and a half ago whenever I saw that. So they obviously took 2 out of 3 from these guys. I think if they're going to do well, this is like the best shot that they've got right now. You know what I mean? Like the way that they're playing right now, I know that a lot of their wins and losses against those teams, Booney said recently that was during a time when they were playing their worst baseball. So he thinks that they're better right now than what they were playing at that time. So, you know, we'll see. But I think that if you're going to get these guys and gain any ground, like, this is the time to do it, because the way that they are playing currently. So it's just, I think that the Yankees are hot right now. I think that they're hot. I think the Blue Jays having an off day could be coming at a bad time for them, you know? I think that the Blue Jays having that off day to kind of kill any little bit of momentum that they had from that game that they came back and won could be, you know, we'll see. I mean, it's probably not going to be like too bad of an off day to have, but I think that the Yankees have a shot. It's the best way to put it. I think the Yankees have a shot to do really well against the this upcoming stretch right now. Whew. PitchCom was made from a magician. Interesting, Max. That's I didn't know that. That's cool. Yankees have the over on the Jays with pitching on paper. I agree. I think their starting pitching is way better than the Blue Jays. Although, like, you have good starting pitchers on both sides. I just think right now where the Yankees are at, like, you got some pretty reliable dudes to keep going to, and like Cam is going to be, we'll see what Cam does. Cam's still pretty new to know exactly how it's going to go, but it's been looking pretty reliable. Luis, we know what he did last year. I know he had a long layoff, so if he does anything remotely close to what he did last year, he's going to be fine. And then obviously Max Fried was lights out for a long time, had a little bit of struggles. Carlos Rodon looks like he's pretty dialed in right now. So, and then Will Warren, I watched him. I'm not going to lie, I watched him pitch for the first time like extensively, and he has some nasty shit. His stuff was moving all over the place. So kudos to that guy. That shit was nasty. Yeah, the Yankees bullpen is a problem right now, Matt. They do have a lot of, like I said earlier in the chat, like they have a lot of what I thought were to be some of the better relief or closers in the big leagues the last few years on their roster right now. And they're all struggling at remotely the same time. And that's tough because it's really close to a time where you cannot have them struggle. So I'm kind of hoping that they get this shit figured out, because when you look at that run differential between the Yankees and the other teams out there, the Yankees are plus 143 runs above their opponents. If you look at the Blue Jays, they're 62 runs, plus 62. So the Yankees almost have 100. I mean, so it's right around 81, but almost have 100 points run differential between them. So, like, that just goes to show that when that offense is going, they're blowing teams out. You know what I mean? They're blowing them out. But when they lose, it's like, how are they losing? They're losing, like, games last night where random shit's just, like, kind of derailing a really good offensive performance. That's the tough part. Did Glaber sign a 1-year deal with Detroit? Is that what happened? Yeah, I mean the Yankees did have what? I think I saw 3 errors tonight. That's not gonna be good. Yeah, Glaber on a 1-year. I'm not really qualified to say this. But do you think Glaber wants to come back to New York? Like, let's just put Glaber aside. Like, let's just put Glaber aside and let me just speak for players. Glaber, and I mean this, like, real talk. Glaber probably would want to come back for the fans, you know what I mean? Because like they really leaned into him, and he was like their guy, and he was the guy that a lot of fans were like really enamored by and like loved. And obviously they had moments where they wanted him to pick it up, but for the most part, Glaber's time in New York, I think people liked having him. So that point is good. But I think if Glaber didn't want to come back, it would be because of the people running the team. And that's unfortunate for the people that don't get to see him potentially. And again, I'm not speaking for Glaber because I have no idea if that's his reasoning, but the front office can ruin the relationships between players whenever they put guys in a situation where it's like he's got to go to another team to prove it type deal, or they don't want to bring me back type situation. So, it gets a little interesting with stuff like that, because Glaber was there for a long time and did a lot of shit for that org. So to not get that love to get signed back by them. I don't know if he'd want to come back. I don't know. I really don't. Where's, yeah. I mean, I don't think Glaber's got a spot on this team unless he plays third base next year, and that's just not going to happen. But McMahon's contract is way bigger than I was aware of. I found that out last night. I did not know that man was guaranteed that much money. And especially, I saw some shit today. I saw some shit about Alex Bregman's going to opt out of his deal. And if he opts out of his deal, I'll be honest with you guys, it's kind of tough to have McMahon over there at third eating up all that salary cap if Alex Bregman opts out. Because you guys need a third baseman that's going to go out there and pump 30-plus homers. Now, I know McMahon has a lot of homers right now, but McMahon is about a 7. I can fact check that myself, but let's see, Ryan McMahon stats. Let's see his OPS. That's really what I want to look at. So Ryan McMahon's stats right now. Let's just call it what it is. Let's just look at it. He has a 721 OPS with 457 at bats, 19 home runs. Let's see. 2 teams. Let's check the difference. Yeah, I mean, he had a 717 OPS with the Rockies and a 734 OPS with the Yankees. So let's see that 734 OPS with the Yankees. Now let's go look at Alex Bregman. Alex Bregman stats. Sheesh. It's gonna be a way different stats right here. Alex Bregman has an 849 OPS. And McMahon has 19 homers, Bregman has 16. I think McMahon is hitting like 220. I can't remember. Bregman's hitting 281. Again, that's just me. I mean, you guys might have to put aside your hate for the Astros if that's why you don't want Bregman to be there. But if you want your team to have the best possible players, I personally think right now having Ryan McMahon as your third baseman eating up that much money it's tough given the fact that Alex Bregman might test free agency. That guy's fucking good. If it's about winning, fuck it. Bring the best players. So let's go back to the chat. I neglected y'all for a half second. Do I think something about the Yankees hitting staff is able to unlock something with him? No. And I'm not even saying that to be like negative. I think that like when you get to the major leagues is like super interesting just because like you don't really like when you're in the minor leagues you get coached a lot more, right? And like whenever you're in the major leagues, it's that kind of that mentality of like this dude is supposed to know what's going on type thing, and he's supposed to know these parts of the game, and you really kind of get coached whenever you're struggling. You don't really get as coached whenever you're doing well or just getting my cat's about to eat this live up. Yeah, that's Pop. What's up, dog? I don't think that McMahon has really learned a whole lot in New York hitting wise right now. I think he's only been there for like a month, and I don't know if they've fully experimented to make a whole lot of changes yet, but I don't know. Yeah, I mean, Bregman is 31, so McMahon is the best infielder we have, and he's hitting about 170. He's really good at defense. And he's good at hitting, but we're just talking about one player who's a little bit better than the other one at hitting. That's really what it comes down to. Bregman is an anti-Yankee, cheater, Astro, Red Sox. Would be crazy to see him there, but listen, brother, it can happen, and it will happen if Hal Steinbrenner wants that guy, he'll get that guy, and I guarantee you, Alex Bregman would be open to being a Yankee. So, because why not? I mean, why not? Who fucking cares? Let him in. If you want to win a World Series and it's really about having the best players, you got to look in the direction of Alex Bregman. But that's going to be a big, big contract that he's going to get. He's going to get like 35 plus million a year. Which McMahon might be making a little bit more than that for the next 2 years. So, yeah. Bregman's swing would play at Yankee Stadium. He hits homers. And he hits the ball. Like, Bregman has such a, I was going to say 35 mil. If he's making 40 mil right now, he's going to get that again. Bregman has such like a level swing that it'll play at Yankee Stadium. He hit a lot of fucking homers. This cat is begging for it. He wants some love. This guy's fucking... This cat is Satan himself, people. This is the worst cat you'd ever possess. I'd give him away for free if someone wanted him. He's that bad. Terrible attitude. Screams all night. Just a bad cat. But yeah, Bregman being a free agent potentially is gotta go for it if that's an option. I think that would be they're gonna check it out. I'll tell you that. They're gonna see what the price tag is and see if there's a fit. But I don't know if I don't know what you do with McMahon. Because I don't know if anyone's going to eat that contract. That's a lot of money. So, hot take. The Yankees cannot produce good hitters. Yeah, the Yankees struggle to have a lot of like homegrown hitters have like long-term success with them. But I'll say this, and I don't have a whole lot of players to back this up currently now that I'm saying this, but at least I believe this more than I believe the hitting side. I think they're better at the pitching side of developing players than they are at the position player side. That's my hot take. I think that they really know how to do the pitching stuff just because, like, with the pitchers, they want you to lean on your strengths. So if you have, like, an anomaly pitch that just is extremely unhittable, just fucking keep throwing that pitch and don't, like, go away from it. So it's probably a little bit easier because on the flip side of the hitting, you have to hit the unhittable pitch that they've unlocked. So good luck. But the pitchers, I think, are a little bit further along than the hitters, just in general. You would ride out McMahon for a year or two. I don't think he's that bad of a player. 35 mil for Breggy is a lot. Heck, the big guy. Hear how long of a pause I gave you right there? I'm not the guy to like say you're right, you're wrong, you're right, you're wrong. I'm right, you're wrong. I wouldn't give that long of a leash. Because at that time, it's like Bregman's going to have a new home and he's going to be completely someone else's product. So if you have an opportunity to get him, I don't know if you waited out that long for him. And again, no disrespect to anyone that's that we discuss as players. It's just we're talking about Alex Bregman. Um, Schwarber will be a free agent as well. Kyle Tucker is going to be a free agent. Belly's going to be a free agent. Isn't Jazz? Jazz is going to be a free agent. There's going to be a lot of. There's going to be a lot of money being thrown around. So we'll see. See who they get. Grisham is going to be a free agent. So it's just, yeah. I mean, I think Hal is going to be in a situation right now where it's like, how badly does he want to win? Because here's the reality of it. Just because you go out and you get all these guys, you are not guaranteed to win. And that's the scary thing. From like an investment side, that's the part where it's like, damn, I spend $300 million every year and we still don't win. So it's like, is that the right option to do? You get married to bad contracts. Guys get hurt, guys underperform. A new random guy comes out of nowhere, goes off. You could have got him for way less. You didn't. It's just so many factors come in. But Kyle Schwarber in the fucking Bronx, oh. Can you imagine him hitting those poolside homers? Those things are flying out of that stadium. Flying. If Schwarber's in the Bronx full time, oh my God. He might hit 60 homers there. And that is no cap. That's absolutely no cap. Belly's a for sure coming back, I'm pretty sure. I don't think that they're going to let him go too fucking long into that offseason. I bet they're already thinking about how could they avoid that. I know that they wouldn't do like a keep yawning. I don't think they. I mean, I'm not. Again, I'm not the guy to speak on this, but I don't think they won't get the extension done like right now or before the season's done. He's going to hit free agency, but they could certainly talk, and figure that out. Yeah. Donnie Baseball. You want him coaching or managing? Or both? I was going to say, as far as that team-friendly contract goes for Cody Bellinger, I think Cody's going to get that bag. I think Cody wants that bag because he was that guy that, I think we talked about this exact same thing last night, where how many guys in the major leagues go from being the first potential player to sign for $300 million because of the way that he played whenever he got called up, to then being like, I don't know if he was DFA'd or put on waivers, but he struggled. And then it was like, damn, he's not going to get that money that he could have probably gotten if he took that bigger deal. And then he goes crazy and could get $200+ million again. And so it's like he's gone from that much to he's back up to that much. So I think he's going to get that much. He wants that much. And I don't think that the teams are going to even consider not giving him that much. So I think regardless of like what he wants, there's a number that's, he's just going to fall into that threshold automatically. Whew. He's just going to fall into that shit automatically. So yeah, you got to take the money when you have the chance. You're right, Max. Every single one of us in here would take that money. Every single one of us in here would take that money and be fine going 0 for 1,000. That's the thing about giving some of those contracts out to those guys, is that they do get enough money to where they're like, I don't give a fuck if I make any money at all. Or not make any money at all. If I ever get a hit again. You know what I mean? Certainly played with somebody that did that for sure. So you never know. Never know who the player is going to be once they get that money. it would be fucked up if the Mets signed him. If there's a guy out there that can afford to overpay on anyone that he wants, it is the Mets owner. The guy's stupid rich. That guy's fuck you rich. That guy's wealthy. There's rich and then there's wealthy. That guy's fucking wealthy. No wrestling IQ. You said it. I didn't. That last time I saw that guy play, Obama was in office. And that's crazy. Yeah, that was crazy. That was absolutely, that was like the first time that I really realized like why these owners don't want to pay some players the amount that they do, was when that shit was going on. Because it was like, I was with him, guys. I was with him for a decent amount of the time that he wasn't playing. Okay? I was with him. We were both in Tampa rehabbing. One of us was rehabbing. The other one was... it was crazy. But I was with him every single day down there. And so to see that rehab process up close every single day, what was he down there for? I don't know what the original injury was, because it started to change a little bit over time. It might have been an oblique. Might have been an oblique. But I can tell you this. Reggie Jackson broke his fucking femur at like 70. And his rehab got concluded before that. So this is it. I can't remember what Jacoby was healing. Again, it could have been his oblique, could have been his hammy, could have been like all these. I think it was his back. Might have been his back. I just remembered like he would be in the cage and he'd hit a few fucking lasers and then he would just be like, just not feeling good. And he'd be like, it looked good, but he didn't feel good. And that was the crazy part. But anyways, what I was going to say, I was rehabbing my concussion. You might be right, CM. You might be right. Maybe I didn't need a script for that. I was rehabbing the concussion. Reggie was rehabbing some sort of like broken leg. And Jacoby was rehabbing one of his 1,000 injuries that kept him out for 4 years. But we were all three in the trainer's room at the same time. So me, Reggie, and Jacoby all down in the Major League training room in Tampa getting worked on daily was an insane thing. Yeah, bro. The hip labrum. I knew it was something like rotational. And then the oblique strain, I did say that because I thought I remembered something with the oblique, but it would always be something. His rehab was like swinging. That was what was giving him the most issues, was the swinging. So I just remember seeing just absolute like lasers in the cage, and then it would just be like, that's GG's. And then it was literally GG's. Yeah. Mickey Mantle played his entire career with a torn ACL and never had it repaired. Seriously? That's crazy. Lil Jordan, rehabbing with Reggie was wild. Reggie's one of the coolest dudes that you could ever be around, especially for the age that he was at. That dude was fucking crazy. That dude's mind was sharp. And he was on it, you know what I mean? Like, he was able to really, like, put you on blast with some stuff. Like, like real quick. So with all that being said, Reggie was fun as fuck to be around, because if you can imagine like how I talk and my personality around somebody that hit, I don't know how many fucking home runs he hit, 500, 600, a shit ton. My personality might be hard for somebody like that to just not want to tell every single minute, to be like, shut the fuck up. But he liked me. He fucking liked me, and we were cool. Like, that dude would call me all the time. I had his phone number. Pretty sure I still have it. But yeah, Reggie was my dog. Reggie's a cool dude. I got ice cream with Reggie. It was actually frozen yogurt. I remember I had just gotten traded to the Yankees, and we were playing like the Blue Jays, and I was in instructional league. That's where we were. I was in an instructional league, and I think Reggie knew that I was like pretty annoyed about being there, just because like I was in AAA, and it was like I'd already done multiple instructional leagues as a rookie ball, low A, high A guy. I'm at Eon again. Whew. And I think I struck out against the Blue Jays, and I think Reggie was in attendance, and he was like, fuck this. And he just took me out the game, which is actually, that's really fucking funny to think about. Because, like, Reggie takes me out the game, and he's like, go get in the car. And I was in my full uniform still, like, full Yankees uniform. And he was like, let's go. And we just were talking in the car, and we were hanging out. And he took me to get frozen yogurt. And in the car, Reggie had 3 cell phones. 3. I've seen people have 2. 3 was a different story. So that was crazy. That experience was eye-opening, because I was like, Reggie Jackson just took me out the game. Now I'm in his car going to get frozen yogurt. I'm in my full Yankees uniform going in, and he's got 3 phones. 3 phones might be the craziest part of the entire story. So I know I had a phone number to one of them. I just don't know which one I got. And I don't know what all 3 of them were for. But 3 was... Think about putting 3 phones in your pocket. Or... Because he wasn't carrying like a satchel around. He's not like a fucking satchel guy. You know? 3? 3's a lot. Whew. Oh. What's your thought on pulled fly balls, homers? Yeah. I don't know how he knows what phone does what, but 1 phone for every homer in the World Series game. Facts. That guy stepped up whenever he needed to, so Reggie was fucking special. That's for sure. Oh. Alright, guys. It's 1:50 in the morning. If I keep doing this, I'm going to keep talking. And I'll be honest with y'all. I got to wake up decently early to go to the airport tomorrow. So I'm probably about to hop off. This has been electric. So with all that being said, I do appreciate you guys joining. I appreciate y'all tuning in. If you want me to do another live tomorrow night, I think I can work that out. I'll be in a different setup. And that'll be easy to go with. So I would say that more than likely I'm going to be live streaming again tomorrow night. So thank you for tuning in, and let's fucking go. Go Yankees. I'll be back tomorrow night. So see you guys. I'm gonna go eat some ice cream probably. Not some ice cream, but this frozen cookies and cream pretzel. So, but yeah, appreciate you guys. And yes, I'll probably be back on tomorrow, guys. So thanks again. And yeah, see y'all later. Love the chat, brother. Thank you, Blaine. And all right, see y'all tomorrow night. Check you then.